guys, welcome to another episode of A Drummer's Guide to. So, today I want to talk about beating yourself up. Now, I must admit, confess, however you want to say this, I am the best person at beating myself up, like ever. I'm a little bit better now, but oh my gosh, when I was younger, if there was a competition for that, I would be the lightweight or featherweight, I don't know, I'd hope featherweight, champion of the world. I tell you that much instantly. I was a pro. Actually, if I could get paid for it, then I'd be a millionaire. My goodness. But yeah, I was great at that. I was great at any little thing going wrong. In fact, not even going wrong, just any little thing that I wasn't absolutely perfect at. Instantly, it was just like, you're an idiot. You don't know how to do this. You know, just what are you doing with your life? You're not ever going to be successful. You can never do that. It was just like this awful voice in my head that was just so mean to me. And by the way, that is very much the PG version of what I would say to myself. To the point that I would end up completely like debilitated. I would procrastinate because I was so, I guess in hindsight, I was probably so deathly afraid of making more mistakes or not being good enough that it was a lot easier to just not do anything and then deal with that. And then it would just be the case of, yeah, well, of course you're not doing anything because that is the person that you are. I had years of just procrastination. Equally, I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know, where to put my energy into. It became this cycle that then became this huge thing, and the thought of actually working towards something became this impossible task that it was like having a giant boulder in front of me with like a teeny tiny toothpick. That's what it felt like, and it was just mental. But then inevitably what would happen would be this big boulder would be right in front of me. And then I'd just get so annoyed with myself and so frustrated with the situation that it was almost like I got some big Hulk hands or something and just smashed through the boulder and then just went and did something anyway because I was so annoyed and that was my cycle of how I'd basically dealt with beating myself up. Not very healthy at all, is it? And how horrible was I to myself? So, years of this, like literally years, I can't even tell you. And it sort of was this long process where I've now stopped beating myself up. I don't know how long it's been since I sort of stopped doing this because it has been gradual. But what would happen was I would have this cycle of, something bad would happen. I would be very horrible to myself. I would put myself down. I would not feel worth anything, and I would just be completely debilitated, wouldn't be able to do anything, procrastinate, didn't know what I should focus on, so I just wouldn't focus on anything, then would get frustrated, and then would just do something, anything, bah! So that cycle would happen. And as time went on, I somehow, and I don't know how and I don't know why, this cycle shortened. And this cycle does still exist for me, but I'll talk you through how I basically try not to beat myself up anymore. Inevitably, sometimes those feelings do still come up, but I don't talk to myself in the same way, that's for sure. So, the first thing will be that something will happen, or I won't do something as well as I had wanted to, and I will still have a moment of, what an idiot. But it's not like, bah, evil, like aggressive, horrible, negative. It's just like, I'm an idiot. Okay. And then my next thought is, right, what can I do to improve this right now? And generally speaking, it's make a plan to eliminate the problem, whatever that is. So I'll make some sort of plan, and it can be very, very rough. And then I will, in my diary, I'll open up my diary, and the next day, or the next available day, because sometimes that's not doable, I will put in a first very, 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 very small, tiny, in fact, action towards helping it. And that is basically what I do. And it seems really simple. It's so much harder to do than you think. But just having that small bit of momentum at the very beginning of something going wrong, it just helps you work it out. And consequently, Now when things go wrong, I just go, okay, this has happened, but I know I can fix it because I've done it enough times before and it's fine. And I'm just a bit kinder to myself. And do you know what I think snapped me out of the most evil self-talk ever is I thought to myself, it wasn't even if anyone. If I spoke to anyone the way that I was speaking to myself, I'd literally want to kill myself. It was venomous. It was disgusting. I can't even put into words how horrendous the things were that I used to say to myself. But yeah, I just thought, it wasn't even about, imagine if anyone else spoke to me like that. Because I would just be like, well, yeah, then whatever. Because then all I think is, well, it can't be any worse than how I speak to myself anyway, which is terrible. But at the end of the day, I'm stuck with myself. We're all stuck with ourselves. So it's probably more beneficial to be nicer to myself and kinder to myself. And then what I thought about was, because it's all good and well me saying, if I spoke to someone else like that, that's horrendous. This was the clincher. Imagine that anyone spoke to my sister like that, or to my mum like that, or to my dad. I'd kill them. I'd actually kill the person if anyone disrespected any of my family, any of my friends, anyone. Like, in fact, even if it was strangers, I think I'd at least punch someone in the face, or at least try to. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I shouldn't advocate violence. I'm not actually a violent person at all. I'm very chilled out. But the point is that the thought of anyone speaking to any other human like that just was disgusting to me. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm not a bad person. I don't think I am. I try the best I can with what I've got. You know, I'm always trying my best. I'm not setting out to do bad things. So maybe I need to be a little bit nicer to myself, because why should I punish myself? Anyway, this is kind of the headspace that I got into to get out of this sort of self-talk. And when it would start happening, I would just sort of say, hold on a second. Did I try as hard as I could? 99% of the time, the answer is yes. Did I make the best decision I could with the knowledge that I had? 99%, in fact 100% of the time, when it comes to that, the answer is yes. Was my intention good or right, whatever that means? Was it a positive intention? 100% of the time, the answer to that is going to be yes. Well then, stop being horrible to yourself. Just try and make it better. And that's the other thing. Striving for perfection is such a dangerous, detrimental thing, because it doesn't exist, which is the beauty of life. It doesn't exist. You've just got to do your version of what you think it should be, and do the best you can. Basically, that's all you can do. So anyway, I'm not sure that this video has made any sense whatsoever, but the point is, be nice to yourself, and, you know, stop beating yourself up like I used to. It's really unhealthy, and I've never been as productive and joyous and enjoying my life as much as I have, well, today. Every day literally is just better and better for me, and part of that is because I treat myself nicely. I'm kind to myself. When things aren't perfect, I still go, well, we can do something tomorrow towards it, or right now we can just do something that will move it on just a little bit further, and be okay with that. Be okay that everything doesn't need to be done right now. It doesn't need to be finished right now. Yes, have a list of priorities, but don't kill yourself over them, because it's about quality of life, and a big part of that is how you treat yourself. And yeah, okay, I need to stop, because I'm going to start talking in circles. I can feel it happening, and I'm pretty sure that it already has. So if you've stuck with me, I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't, I completely understand. If you think this would help anyone else, I'm not even sure what I was talking about, but yes, please feel free to share it. and subscribe if you want to hear any more of these. They come out weekly. So yeah, if you have any topics that you'd like me to cover, or ask me any questions about not just drumming or music, but mental side of stuff or whatever, drop me a line at info@adrummersguide2.com, or leave them in the comments below. Equally, there's a form on adrummersguide2.com which is anonymous if you don't feel like you want to put your name on there. I totally get it. I used to be that person. That was so scared to ask questions and be seen as the person that doesn't know the answer, because I'm meant to be a professional. Got no time for it anymore. Life's too short. Be nice to yourself, please. It's the only way. Anyway, right, I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will speak to you again soon. All right, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.